Manca qualcuno? Okay. Is everybody here? Everybody's in? Okay. So, do you know how to do this already? You should be where you can see very well, because on your phone, you will only see colors. You will not see the question. Okay? So it's important. I will tell you the color and the answer, but it's good to be where you can look at both because you have to be accurate and you have to be fast. Okay? Did you study? So I made questions based on our lessons, okay? So if you went and you looked at the PDF, this will be no problem for you. But you have to be fast, okay? So we're going to get started. This is our last lesson. There's something in my eye. It's been very fun, so I'm sad that it's over, but today I was so relaxed. I enjoyed my day. I took a 3-hour walk in Bolzano. I had the best day because we did all the hard work. Today's just the fun part, okay? So I'm gonna sit down here. Okay, no cheating. You don't have your ChatGPT app opened, I hope. No, okay. Everybody can see the screen. Is anyone logged on online? Okay, so just so you know, if you want to play again for fun at home, it's possible. We will send you a link. You can try again and get all of them correct. And anyone who logs on late, who doesn't want to play, or that you can still log in later. If you get kicked out, you can still go back in. Also, if you're playing with your phone, be very careful, because if you don't keep the screen on, it will kick you out. Like if your screen goes black, you will have to enter again probably, okay? So you want to just make sure once in a while you keep your, okay? Right, because sometimes we'll stop and talk for a minute, and because sometimes we want to review something. If we do that, perhaps your screen will go dark, and when you turn it on again, if you have to enter again with a password or with your face or something, you may be out of the game and you have to re-enter. So it's a good idea to just keep your screen alive, okay? Are you ready to start? Yeah. All right, here we go. I turned off the annoying music. American music from jazz to hip hop. 3, 2, 1. This is a quiz. What was this series of American culture lessons about? Red, American music. Yellow, politics. Blue, American slang. G, advanced grammar. You have to touch the color, the correct color. Okay? What did you do? You pushed the blue and it didn't go. And what did it say? Time is over. So if it doesn't, yeah. Okay, if it's not good, then sit next to someone else and you can play as a team. Sometimes it's better to play as a team, okay? Try again and see what happens this time, okay?
How many seconds do we have to answer to the question?
Well, I think up to 20. It's really long. So try to do it fast, though, because that's what gets you more points, okay? You'll see what happens now. Even though 6 people got it correct, Bruna was the fastest.
Now I became the screen with the correct, right? Okay?
Yep.
But I must wait till now.
Yeah, you can't go ahead. You have to wait for me.
Okay.
I'm the boss here. I decide when it's question number 2. I put the first question very easy because I wanted to see if your phone is working okay. You're having a problem with your phone. Okay, so.
But a question, sorry. Why I have less points instead for the...
You were too slow.
Okay, I was not so quick.
You weren't fast enough. Bruna is the Kahoot champion. So, do you notice even her position? She's in the pole position, right in the front. She knows that you have to go fast. So, I would say try one more question. If it doesn't work, sit next to Bruna. Okay? All right. Bruna is the biggest liar. No, but she knows that you have to go fast. So you have to kind of get used to the fact that the words are on the screen and the color is on your phone. For me, that was always like, oh, I have to remember which is which, okay? So that's why I'm reading them from top on the left to bottom left, top right, bottom right. So if you're listening, you'll hear the color, okay? Ready for the next one. True or false? The jazz age was coined by F. Scott Fitzgerald. Blue is true, red is false. Yours didn't go. What does it say? What do you see? Okay, now it's working. So you have to... Yeah, the second time it went, so it's okay. So, okay. So the jazz age was coined, meaning that the name was given by F. Scott Fitzgerald. Now, I always try to help you, so you'll see that the image says The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. So I always try to give you some kind of help. Bruno, what happened? Your name is not on there. Did you answer the correct answer? Okay. It'll come back. Remember, just stay focused. So on the leaderboard, we have Simone is in the first place, Jose, Silvio, Franca, Bru, and Maria's off the board. Quiz 29. The generation that reached maturity just after World War II, was it red, the baby boomers, yellow, the greatest generation, blue, lost generation, or green, generation Z? World War I read the question wrong, sorry. Yeah, it was after World War I. If I said World War II, then I'm part of the problem. So the generation that reached maturity just after World War I was the lost generation. Remember, all the men were all dead, and it was a moment of prosperity, but kind of hard to enjoy it when half the population is gone. Okay, the boomers are still alive now. They're the boom after World War II, right? There's a boomer right there. The greatest generation was the parents of the boomers, okay? And then we have the generation Z, which is right now, okay?
Greatest generation is just after lost generation.
Yes, okay, so the greatest generation fought in World War II. Are we ready for the next one? Is your phone working now? You're better? Okay, good. Simone is on fire. Quiz. Before the phonograph, Americans consumed music through red, records, yellow, sheet music, blue, radio programs, green, long-playing cassettes. Look at the picture. It was sheet music, because remember, before the phonograph was before the record player, remember, right? So, and cassettes were way later, okay? So radio programs came later, but people were playing the music in their houses with like a piano, okay? So often the music was religious music or patriotic music. So this was before. So those in Tin Pan Alley, remember Tin Pan Alley? The first music pluggers were the people who were playing the sheet music. You could go and listen to the music before you bought it, right? Uh-oh, what's going on here? Okay, Simone has an answer streak, but In second place, okay, not much has changed, but ready for the next one?
Yes.
Quiz. What invention transformed how Americans consumed music? Was it red, television, yellow, the wheel, blue, computer, or green, radio? I only see 6 people who answered. Does someone? Oh, no, all 7 went. Okay. Yes, it was the radio. Did you notice the photo? The family around the radio? Okay. You know I only want you to do well. I want to help you. Maria, you're back on the leaderboard. Well done. Quiz. The Midtown Manhattan hub for music writers, publishers, and pluggers. Red, Tin Pan Alley. Yellow, Harlem. Blue, Upper West Side. Green, the Bronx. Notice how I put, it was Tin Pan Alley. I showed, remember here's the photo of it. Okay. Tin Pan Alley, remember I put the neighborhood already here. It's in Manhattan, Midtown Manhattan. So it could not be the Bronx. It could not be the Upper West Side because that would be above Midtown Manhattan. And it could, right, so it could only be Tin Pan Alley. I tricked you, I guess. But I did put the photo. I did put the photo. Simone is going to get kicked out in the next one.
I made a mistake.
You made a mistake. We'll see what happens now. Okay. True or false? You're the bee's knees and the cat's meow are insults. Blue is true, red is false. It's false. If you're the bee's knees, you're amazing. If you're the cat's meow, you're amazing. Do you remember the dance, the bee's knees? Who can do it? Yeah, it's with your... Okay, exactly. Good job. Ooh, Gabri has the highest answer streak of 6. Well done. Quiz. This has more than one answer. What characteristics are associated with flappers? Red, bobbed hair. Yellow, cloche hats and headbands with feathers. Blue, dresses with high hems and low waists. Green, dancing shoes. You can answer many answers if you want. It's all 4. All 4. Because bobbed hair, remember we talked about the flapper hair? Cloche hats, and sometimes a headband with feathers. Also dresses with a high hem. The hem is at the bottom, a little higher than normal, and the waist is here. The waist is low. Low waist, high hem, and dancing shoes, of course. Flappers were dancers. Yeah, in this one, because when it says multi-select, you can have more than one answer. It may be 2 answers, it may be 3, it may be 4. Aha. I like to help you, but sometimes I don't always help you. It was kind of a trick, but it was just so we could remember everything. Very interesting. Quiz. What brought the jazz age to a close? This is one answer. Red, more people lived in cities than in rural areas. Yellow, prohibition. Blue, the stock market crash of 1929. Green, the Cotton Club. Yes, it was a stock market crash of 1929. You have to learn to get angry in English. You could say something like, oh, I messed up, instead of, ho sbagliato. You could say, I messed up. Oh, I messed up. I screwed up. I messed up. Darn. Ooh. To make a mess. To mess up means to make a mistake. It's informal, of course. It's not vulgar. My bad. I made a mistake. My bad. I wrong. I messed up. Or I was wrong if you put a verb. Yeah, but it's a little easier to say if you say, oh, I messed up. I messed up. Oh. Look who's in number one again. True or false? Duke Ellington, a black man, worked at a whites-only establishment. True is blue, and red is false. I messed up. Okay. What club did he work at? It's true. We saw it in a slide before. It's not the Savoy, that's what you're thinking in Harlem. It was the Cotton Club, the Speakeasy. Do you remember the word speakeasy? For a venue that served illegal alcohol, right? And the Cotton Club, when it was taken over by the mafia folks, they made it whites only, but Duke Ellington was allowed. Ah. Did you look that up? Nice, thank you. I didn't know that. And speakeasy is one word. You know that a speakeasy is a bar. In fact, there was a bar in Milwaukee that I used to go to when I first started teaching that was in a basement, and it was called the Speakeasy. And I think it actually was a speakeasy back in the day, but it kept the name. Everything's changing. Gabri has a streak with 9 correct answers in a row. Well done, Gabri. This, you get more than one answer. Technological innovations of the swing era included red, better microphones; yellow, the jukebox; blue, proliferation of radio stations; green, music streaming. Remember, more than one answer. Technological innovations of the swing era. Three out of 4. Music streaming came much later, okay? But better microphones meant that we could have the crooners, right? Because they could have that intimate sort of sing right to you. The jukebox, of course, because you were hearing the music in different places, even the pharmacy. The proliferation of radio stations, and not only that, but the number of radios in American homes meant that music was much more available. Very interesting. Gabri is on fire. True or false? Verve Records was founded by Ella Fitzgerald's manager. Blue is true, red is false. Quit copying. I did tell you this. If you remember, does anyone remember the story about Verve Records? Yeah, Verve Records which still exists, by the way. The manager of Ella Fitzgerald wanted to record her music and wanted to make sure that when she toured, she was paid the same as white artists. Yeah, they wanted to, he created the label so that he could record Ella Fitzgerald. Later, they recorded other people as well, but it was mainly for Ella Fitzgerald. So thanks to this record label, we have some of the best recordings of Ella Fitzgerald as well. And Verve Records also sponsored her to go on tour and expected equal pay for her, not to pay her less because she was a woman or because she was black. If you remember, there was even a photo on when we sang the Cole Porter song, Remember that lesson? There was even a photo that said, if you want to have Ella Fitzgerald, our label is 50% black, 50% white, and if you, they're paid equally, et cetera. So. And you still got it right. Why are you complaining, Gabby, when you got it right anyway? More than one answer. Who are the crooners? Red is Frank Sinatra, yellow, Nat King Cole, blue, Bing Crosby, green, Michael Bublé. Multi-select, meaning you can select more than one answer. It's all of them. Even Michael Bublé is considered a crooner. He's the youngest one, yeah. But he's considered a crooner because he sings all the American standards. And why are the crooners called the crooners? They had the right microphone that allowed them to sing right to you with their sexy voices. Very interesting. Maria's making a comeback. Good job. Quiz. More than one answer, multi-select. Which of these refer to dancing? Cut a rug is red, yellow jitterbug, blue swing a wing, green Lindy hop. Did you mess up? You messed up. Oh, it was all four of them. To cut a rug, jitterbug, swing a wing, Lindy hop. Silvio is on the leaderboard. Well done. And you've got 13 right, Gabri. Gabri studied. Quiz. Multi-select. What brought the swing era to a close? Red, changing tastes. Yellow, musician strike of 1942. Blue, World War II. Green, the musicians themselves. It was all of them, right? World War II, just because the resources were less, probably people were less. Changing tastes, after a while people get tired of things they want to change. The musician strike of 1942 was penalized the big bands because the big bands were the ones who were unionized, whereas it didn't penalize the crooners who were independent. The musicians themselves, especially the more serious musicians, were kind of tired of the sort of pop music, repetitive, formulaic music, and wanted to do something different. And so for them, too, they were interested in working. They wanted jazz to be appreciated like classical music. So they wanted it to be taken more seriously and less in a sort of superficial way. So all of these factors together brought to a close the swing era, even if we still love the music today. True or false? Country music is a result of cross-fertilization of blues, jazz, gospel, pop, rock, rap, and Latin music. True, blue, red, false. Absolutely true. Okay, this is the thing that surprised me most, was how much they were intertwined, but always from the beginning. It's not how we normally think of country music. When it becomes popular, it gets categorized as sort of a white people thing, but actually it's always been influenced and has always been part of the broader American fabric. Quiz. This city is considered the heart of country music. Red is Knoxville, Tennessee. Yellow is Nashville, Tennessee. Blue is Memphis, Tennessee, and green is Gatlinburg, Tennessee. The home of the Grand Ole Opry, where is it? It's in Nashville. Oh, it's Nashville. I made a mistake. Yeah, you're right. I made a mistake when I made the thing. I should have had artificial intelligence do it. Who answered? Wait, let me see. Who answered? Should be Nashville. 6 of you did Nashville. I'm going to write that down. All right. So who didn't put Nashville? No, who did not? Only one person did not. Who put Knoxville?
I answer Knoxville.
Okay.
Because Nashville is
Because only one person put Knoxville, and it was Simone. So the rest of you are fine, okay? So it's good. It's Nashville. I made a mistake. You're wrong. They're right. No, Memphis is the town of Elvis Presley. Nashville was the correct city. Caroline, the human, made a mistake. I messed up, and I'm very sorry. So, but I was looking at who got it correct and who got it wrong. Now, Simone is, we're not going to worry about him. So he's getting a right one right now, but actually, you are correct, and I apologize. I will correct it as soon as we're finished, and when you go home, you can play it again, and you can get all the answers right and win, okay? Yeah, I did check it, but I guess I missed this one. I messed up, and I'm sorry.
Can you add points?
I can't do it, but I can do it in my head.
Okay.
Now, it would be different if he's the only one so he's going to have one freebie, but Simone's not going to win today, I promise you. And it's not going to be because of that. See, it doesn't change anything. Okay, multi-select. Crossover artists with country music hits. Red, Dolly Parton. Yellow, Beyonce. Blue, Elvis Presley. Green, Taylor Swift. I couldn't make them too easy. You have to say, I messed up. I didn't push. It was all of them. They're all crossover. Because Dolly Parton, we talked about her being in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, so she's crossed over into another genre. Beyonce made a country album that we talked about. Elvis Presley started as a country music singer. Now, we didn't talk about that, but I can't make it too easy, can I? Yeah, I know. And Taylor Swift also started as a country singer, and then she went pop. So all of these artists are crossover artists, okay? Now, if you've taken these quizzes in the past, you know that sometimes I tell you things that you don't know, but we do it through the quiz. So if you didn't know this for all of them, now you know, okay? It's just a game. It's just for fun. True or false? Hip hop and rap are the same thing. Blue is true, red is false. 4 of you said it was true? Very interesting. It was false. Why are you speaking in Italian, though? Why are you speaking in Italian? I'm in 7th place. You were right, but you're still in 7th place. I'm sorry. It's okay. You have to be fast. You'll come back. There's time. There's 9 more questions. Multi-select. Elements of hip-hop. MCing and DJing are red. Yellow is art. Blue is knowledge. Green is breaking. You can select more than 1. You can select up to 4. It's all of them. Again. Huh? You don't remember this one? Yeah, so the elements, there are really 5 elements, right? Yeah. So the MC is the rapper. The DJ is the guy with the turntables. Art, like street art, graffiti, We talked a little bit about that. Breaking is break dancing. And knowledge is, remember, a special definition of knowledge, which means know where you come from, be authentic, understand, okay? So even if you don't remember them all, this was really meant to just remind you. So that's the difference between rap and hip hop. Rap is one element of hip hop, which would be the red. MCing and DJing is really the rap part. Yeah, the master of ceremony is the rapper, right? Well done. Okay, here we are. Quiz, multi-select. Elements of breaking or breakdancing. Top rock is red, freezes yellow, power moves blue, footwork green. This is a multi-select. You can select up to 4. Again, no, it's all of them. Yeah, it's also footwork. Did I make another mistake? I messed up again? Twice in one game? That's annoying. Sorry about that.
I lost my combo.
You lost yours. Yeah, it's actually, top rock is what you do with your arms when they, between moves, right? Freezes are when they do those incredible, like, they freeze and they're doing in a position that we can't even imagine doing even with support. Power moves are like, could be spinning around on your head, it could be, and then footwork, of course, is just a fancy footwork. So it should be all 4 of them, and I can see that 5 of you got it correct, because you did all 4 of them.
Yeah, I did all 4, but it's incorrect.
It's because I made a mistake.
Footwork
It is one of them. It should be. So if you were one of the 5 who put all 4 of them, you're correct and I'm wrong. Because the correct answers were top rock, freezes, power moves, footwork. Okay? Top rock is like, it's this sort of move with your arms. It's the kind of what you do when you're waiting for your next big move. It's kind of like the, or when someone else is breaking, they're in a circle. They're doing something with their feet, but it's just sort of that move, that sort of basic move. Right. Do you know why? Because I messed up. Who knew that was going to be the idiom of the day, is to mess up? 2 times already out of, we'll see how many times I mess up from now on. We'll see. So you guys all pretty much, 5 of you out of 7 got all 4 of them. Well done, okay? True or false? Rapper's Delight, the first commercially successful rap song, was released in 1979. True, blue, red, false. It was true. The photo is a more recent photo. This is not a photo from 1979, but it is them. So there were raps before then, but they were not commercially successful. And it was an 8-minute song, a very long song, but it still had a lot of popularity. In fact, when Saturday night, we had at the Italian American Association in Trieste, we had our Thanksgiving dinner. Instead of Thursday, we had it Saturday. And we had 2 musical groups playing. And one was from Vienna, and they play the ukulele. They're amazing. And then another guy from closer to home, Lignano. And one of the songs they did was Rapper's Delight. So I thought of you. I thought, oh, I wish that my Bolzano people were here. They could hear that we still love, and everybody was rapping to it. It's the one song that even your grandma knows the knows the words to, because it's so old. So great. Still popular. This rap artist won a Pulitzer Prize, a prestigious award for excellence in journalism, literature, drama, and music. Was it red, Grandmaster Flash, yellow, Eminem, blue, Jay-Z, green, Kendrick Lamar? Only one answer. And if you look at the photo, you will know. It was Kendrick Lamar, who was at the Super Bowl halftime party last year, okay? And he won. It was the first time that a rapper was awarded with the Pulitzer Prize for, I think it's recognizes journalism normally, so we think of it as a journalism award. And even though it does recognize literature and music, it was actually given to him because what they said at the time was that it was an accurate depiction of what people were experiencing. So it was like it had journalistic value because it was giving a point of view that normally we don't hear. And so it was for an album called Damn. So. Bruna's still in first place, but Simone's catching up.
I messed up.
You messed up, okay? Franca, Gabri, and Silvio, got to go a little faster. You know, Gabri had that super duper streak, and now we got to kind of, and you went down. It was the rap thing. It was the rap lesson. True or false? Calling someone a goat is an insult. Blue is true, red is false. If you call someone a goat, if your grandmother calls you a goat, it's probably really is an insult. Or if someone says you smell like a goat, it's definitely an insult. But if I say you're the goat, I'm saying it's not an insult. What does it mean? It's the greatest of all time. So if you're the goat, you are the top of the top. But you messed up. You knew it, but you messed up. We all messed up today. Are you having fun anyway, even when you mess up? Are you having fun? Yeah. No, you're not having fun. This is a drag. I hate this. True or false? Parents of all races and generations think their music is better than their children's. True or false? True is blue. It's true. You'd even have to take the lesson to know this one, right? We all think our music is better than the people who come after us. Starting in the 2000s, white American parents stopped focusing on factors when judging their children's music. Is it moral, red, yellow, racial, blue, linguistic, green, melodic? I messed up. Who messed up? You messed up. So this was from the lesson we did last week, what the kids are listening to. Do you remember for the first time, I used ChatGPT to find out what black parents and white all-American families thought of their children's music, but from the 1920s till today. And what we found was that both Black American parents and white American parents often had the same worries about their children's music. They worried that it was a bad influence, a lot of bad words, objectification. But the white parents, up until the 2000s, were also worried about black influence. So there were sort of racist undertones to how they felt about their children's music until we arrived at the 2000s, like 2000, 2001, 2002, and on. The parents still didn't like their children's music, but it wasn't because of race. So that was the big change. Yeah, there was always that sort of, what is that, they were in the 30s, for example, white parents were worried that the music was primitive and that it had African beats, and that would be a bad influence on their white children. So throughout American 20th century musical history, there are many white parents who are having racist racist worries about their children's music. That, I don't know if it disappears, but the focus diminishes in the 2000s. People aren't so, at some point people said, that wasn't a problem anymore. I'm sure for some people it is still, but for most people it's not, okay? And I can tell you that even when, I'm 52 now, but when I was in high school, my school was very mixed. We had about 5,000 students at my school, and about half was non-white, okay? So because the city where I lived was a very integrated city, but there were still differences, and white people listened to different music than black people. Rap was just becoming popular, but it wasn't yet accepted by everyone. It was still considered something like, you could listen to rap if you're white, but you had to be very careful because you wouldn't want people to say, you can't listen to that, that's our music. Because there was some of that. There was was proprietary, being authentic. We talked about knowledge, and part of that knowledge is respecting that there are places you shouldn't go. That disappeared, and I'm happy about that. But I still remember, you could listen to rap music, but you had to be very careful about rapping it. You had to be careful what kind of language you used, because you didn't want to offend anyone. Right? And I still think, it's still true, right? Rappers can say words that white people can't. And I think it's right, to be sensitive about these things. But I'm very happy to see that parents now are not so worried about race as they used to, because even when I was in school, it was still an issue. And there were still, my city was integrated, but it was not really, because instead of having a whole black neighborhood, white neighborhood, Latino neighborhood, it was like black street, white street, Latino, but still very kind of segregated in its own way. And again, kids were segregated, even though you could hang out together, and there were the crossovers. There were people who hung out with everybody, but generally, there wasn't, the mixing was still not really, it could have been, but when I went to university, it was very bad. It was much worse than it was in high school for us, because in high school, we were all in the same class. We didn't have that sort of feeling that, being mixed was normal for us, and we, of course, did have friends. You had your friends who were black, your Latino, but in general, there were also segregated groups as well. Do you know what I mean? So, and that was in the 80s. Okay, so, when I was in high school in the 1980s, but I'm happy that at least now that's not so much of an issue. But I experienced it, so just wanted to tell you.
10 years younger.
I look 10 years younger? Well, God bless you. It's teaching, keeps me young. Silvio, just for that, I give you a place higher. Quiz, multi-select. Music genres that both black and white American parents considered bad influences on their children. Red, swing and jazz. Yellow, rap and hip hop. Blue, R&B and rock and roll. Green, soul and early funk. You can answer up to 4. Let's see if I made a mistake this time. Nope, I didn't make a mistake. It was all of them. So African American families, white families, they all had problems with their kids' music. It didn't matter what the genre. All of the genres had a problem. Brew, you're still number 1. Brenna's on fire. Multi-select. Common criticisms of today's music. Red, too much reliance on technology. Yellow, repetitive and less unique. Blue, auto-tune and unfamiliar sounds. Green, perceived decline of creativity and quality. You can select up to 4. And as usual, it's all 4. Okay? So these are all things that we complain about. We say, there's too much technology, there's too much AI, things are repetitive, it's not unique, it's not, people don't know how to play their instruments. Auto-tune, you know what auto-tune is, right? That's sort of when they sing and it comes out kind of that strange sound. And then also that there's a decline of quality. Okay, so these are the complaints that people are still making now. Poll, what is your favorite music? Swing and big band is red, country is yellow, rap and hip hop is blue, or green, the music you listened to as a teen. This is your opinion. So one person liked swing and big band. Who is it? Okay. And then 3 people said country. Who said country music? Good. Who said, no one said hip hop. And 43% the music you listened to as a teen. Who is that? Yeah, do you still have on your playlist all the things? It's kind of like comfort food. You have comfort music that just makes you feel good because you remember it when you were young and it's still special to you.
Also, my music when I was a child is country music.
Yeah. Okay, in third place we have Silvio. Yay! In second place we have Bruna. Who came in first? Dun, da, da, da. Simone. How did that happen?
It's lucky.
It's just lucky. Okay. All right.
Because Bruna was,
Well, you know what?
I was messed up.
You messed up, but I'm going to pretend that Simone, you didn't play because you didn't participate in all the lessons. So I'm going to say Bruna's number 1 and number 2 is Silvio. Is that fair? Do you agree with me? Is that okay, Simone?
I'm disqualified.
Can you disqualify yourself? Okay, because I do have 2 prizes, but I'm not going to give one to you, Simone. Next time I come here from Trieste, I'll bring you something special, but okay? So, let me...
have to modify our score for the mistake that you made before.
Do you think it's going to change something? I don't. Do you think so? I think we're okay with it. Are you okay with it? Do we agree that Bruna won? Do we agree that Silvio's number 2? And Simone was number 8? Okay. All right.
Number 7.
Yeah, forget number 7. All right. Well, I have two prizes so for number 1, for a special, Bruna gets the American Corner Italian American Association Trieste bag. This is for you.
Thank you very much.
And Silvio also gets a bag. He gets the Trevile bag.
Okay.
Yay, good job. Now we have a couple of minutes, so I'm going to ask you, well, thank you for participating in all the lessons, not just today.
Caroline, but if I want to repeat the game,
If you want to repeat, I'm going to send you the link.
may I use the pin, the same pin?
No, I don't think so. There's a link that I'm going to send to Simone that he will send to you tomorrow, just like the lessons. And with that, you click on it and you can say play alone. I think it has a choice, like classic or play alone. And then you can try again. And then I'm going to correct it now, though, so that you can do it and you'll get them all right. In fact, I'm going to do that right now. I want to just ask you, if we do this series again, I would like to know what you want to have lessons about. So please feel free to talk to Simone or send an email and just say, I'd like to do music again, or I'd like to do literature, or I'd like to do art, or if there's something cultural, because we do American culture, if there's something you would like us to, because then I can kind of make a series. I like to have a theme. And so last year we did the American road trip. We did, different travel. We could do food. We could do whatever you want.
In autumn, in
Probably next, if they do it, it would be next fall. Next year, okay? No, not in the spring. It'd probably be same time period as now. We normally do it from September or October to December. Good.
From September to December.
So if you have an idea of something you want to know more about or you think would be fun, literature, you like that idea? American literature? Okay. Literature, we've done maybe a writer here and there, but we've never done a theme of literature Or poetry. We could do literature and poetry, and I could send you something to read if you want to prepare. Yeah, oh, sure, we could do, okay, so music and literature. That's a good one.
I would say American cultural slang.
American slang. Okay, we have done one lesson on that. Okay, and we did put some slang into the ones now, but we could think about making one lesson that's part of something else too, even in literature. What, like, if we did literature. If you have any other ideas, let us know and we can do those too, okay?